There is a very specific kind of pain and longing that comes from feeling like you don't know your purpose or that your life hasn't started yet. You feel like you're sitting in the waiting room of your life, sitting back, watching everyone get called into the office and get the secret that you so desperately crave. And worse, you're smart, you're self aware, you do all the things. In fact, you've thought about who you are from every possible angle, but somehow you're still caught up in this position you feel stuck and miserable in. What I'm about to share, I'm not sharing as someone who has life figured all out completely. I don't think any of us have it all figured out. But I'm saying this as someone who's sat back and paid very close attention to what moves people forward and gets them over the edge from not knowing why they're here and what they're meant to do to seemingly fulfilled and on their path, even if it doesn't make sense to people on the outside. And here's what I've noticed. Usually the question people ask is, what is my purpose? What path should I pick? What am I supposed to do with my life? They sit down, they try and answer these questions, and nothing feels right. So they do nothing or continue on what they've always done and follow the path of least resistance that is laid out for them. The problem in this is that you're trying to figure your life out and find the answers without actually living it. In short, you treat your life like a concept instead of an experience that you need to live through. Once I had this epiphany, I stopped trying to figure out the answers by thinking, journaling, sitting down and trying to reverse engineer some crazy equation, and I just started creating motion. The reason you feel miserable and stuck is because you have no motion. Maybe you're like, but I'm doing stuff. Likely this is a perceived motion or worse, unaligned motion. So today we're going to talk about purpose, why it doesn't come from thinking harder, planning better, making the prettiest vision board, and what actually gives you the answers that you've been seeking. Hello, my name is Danae. Thank you so much for giving me a little piece of your time today. If you're new here and watching on YouTube, you can also listen on Spotify, and it's always linked in the description. So in many ways, we're taught that life works like a spreadsheet. It's all inputs and outcomes. And in many ways and areas of life, that is true. If you want to make a specific amount of money, you need a good business vehicle, then it's just inputs and outputs. There's no end state where the equation finishes and you've accomplished a thing and it's correct. Meaning is actually tending to the fruit itself and figuring out the equation. And I know that sounds annoying. I promise we're going to cover a lot in this, and I'll get to the nitty-gritty of what that actually means. But the reason I want to bring this point up broadly is because when people don't know what their purpose is, or they're trying to make a hard decision on what they should do, they fall back to calculation. They fall back to that logical systems thinking. It's like, what's the plan? How do I achieve the thing? And this is my beef with vision boards, for example. I know if you're watching this in real time, it's February. So we're at the time of the year now where if you made New Year's goals, you're either like, damn, I don't know if I can keep going. I don't know if I want the G-Wagon that bad. Or you're like, yeah, I got this. I feel the momentum now. It's time to go even harder. Either one of the two. And I think most people do not achieve their goals and they are not feeling that extra bit of, okay, let's go even harder. And that's because I think this whole goal planning vision board thing is cute and generally it's positive for most people, but I think there's a bug at the foundation, at the root for most people, because they set them up kind of like shopping lists. So yeah, they put the roses, they want their boyfriend to buy them. They put the skinny Pilates body and the matcha and a first class seat on an airplane and all these things. But that's not the vision. The vision is actually the feeling. Vision is how you want to feel in your body. The vision is how do you want to move through your days? What do you want your days to feel like? How do you want to relate to people? What do you want your relationships to feel like? That's where the vision should be rooted in, and then you go from there. Most people jump straight to the object without trying to understand what that emotion is meant to represent. And funny enough, even though this is not this mathematical equation, it's mathematically misaligned because there's a bug at the foundation of this formula. And while I think that this goal-setting vision board culture and thing that's become more popularized is a net positive, it has created this idea that if you just spend 30 minutes in your bedroom thinking or scrolling on Pinterest, your life purpose and clarity will just descend down onto you in your bedroom, and then you will do the inputs, achieve it just like that. But life reveals itself in motion. Motion, i.e., taking aligned action that is mostly unattached from the specific materialistic, especially materialistic outcomes, and is consistently iterated upon based on what is aligned in your current season, because things will continue to change and your purpose evolves and continues. Okay? And the reason motion, i.e., action and consistent action is important is because it creates contrast. Contrast gives you an overview of what is and what is not for you. It tells you what you don't want, which then what does it do? It gives you preference. And then that helps you get closer to what is aligned. And more on that, perspective is not about perfectionism and precision and making the right action or being in motion in a very specific way. No, it purely comes from participation, because the contrast, both good and bad, is what gives you your preference, right? So it's not about avoiding making wrong decision. It's about being in motion so contrast is obvious to you. That's what gives you clarity. The people who feel the most grounded are usually the ones detached from the perfect 5-year, 10-year plan. They build, they experiment, they see, oh, this is more aligned with me now, let's move here, and adjust in real time. Whereas people who feel the most lost are trying to guess or notes app their way into an answer and stick to a specific answer that maybe might be aligned in a time frame, who knows, but not forever. But usually it's just a guesstimate. It's just a thought that you ruminate on. Once you understand this, the question moves from what is my purpose to what is the most aligned action that I can take from where I am right now. And when you answer that question consistently, you live out your purpose, because your purpose isn't one goal or thing. It is a cultivation of a bunch of little things along the way that are off the back of asking yourself that question again and again and again and again. So in my season of life where I was trying to note-zap my way into what my purpose was, I found that I was doing all the things. Like I knew what I was good at, and I would follow the self-help gurus on the internet. They would say, what do you want written on your tombstone? And what are your soft and hard skills? And all of those things work to achieve specific goals, like freelancing. I talk about that often. Those things help when it is a purely mathematical thing. But when it comes to your purpose, you need to detach from looking for a formula. And I had the epiphany when I just got so frustrated at not knowing what to do. I just took random action, because I would see people, and it wasn't about the things that they had. It was about the alignment. Like, when you see someone and you're just like, yeah, that is exactly what this person is meant to do and should be doing. That thing also doesn't last forever for them, and things evolve and change. But usually you can see the ripple effect and how things loop together at the end of the line, right? But you don't see that while you're in motion. That's why it's important to get in motion so you can keep rolling and rolling and rolling. So for me, taking one small action, I started writing a blog on health and wellness. I had no business writing about health. In fact, I was in the worst shape and health of my life. But at the time, I knew I wanted to put myself out there and share my ideas and thoughts. And that was my current journey. So it just felt in that moment the most aligned thing for me. That rippled into me then posting little tweets to promote the blog. And then that turned into me getting into more long form writing for other publications. And then that got me obsessed with marketing, which got me into freelancing. And then I built a multi-6-figure freelance business. And then I was like, wait, I'm feeling misaligned again. I forgot what I started this all for. I want to write. I want to share my ideas and do this and do that. And I mean, health and wellness was definitely not something I was about to go write about again, but I have this time and money now. So let me start sharing these ideas that I've had on YouTube. And then in that moment, that's what felt aligned. On the outside, it doesn't make sense. It's like, babe, you're talking about marketing on your channel. You're talking about this, you're talking about that. You're helping your clients. What is this about? How is this going to help you scale your freelance business? I don't know, but this is the next aligned decision, because I know my purpose is not marketing and helping e-commerce brands. That's not my purpose. That's not my finite purpose. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that as an example of little tiny weird dumb actions like that on the outside and even to me didn't feel right or make sense. And I can't even necessarily put out into words what my purpose is per se, but I get feedback in my own life and from the world when I'm on my path that gives me that confidence that I'm on the path, that I'm cultivating the right things. And when I'm not, best believe it will be clear as day as well. And I want to go back and touch more on that point of the idea that most people think their purpose is, being a doctor or a writer or an influencer or being a founder or an artist. I'm not saying that those things aren't purposeful. Of course they are. And of course, those might be the vehicle or the mechanism that allows you you to do the thing. But I think that that's what gets people tripped up when they think of it in this very specific way. Those are just constructs that we've organized in society, in a capitalist society. Not that that's wrong. It just is what it is, right? So I always like to break things down to its bare bones. As an example, people will talk about femininity in Western society and they'll only associate it with makeup, hair, self-care in a very materialistic way. And it's like, do you think women in the 1800s who didn't have matcha and the clean girl aesthetic weren't feminine? It is not the thing of it in and of itself, and people can't detach from all that stuff. So that's what I want to get you thinking about right now. Purpose is a felt orientation. It's how you tend and move in the world. It's the energy that you bring to rooms, what you naturally care about contributing, protecting, and moving forward. If I were to try to put things into words, I might say that my orientation has always been towards helping women feel more alive, free, and capable. And taking that aligned action and building my multi-six-figure freelance business gave me a vehicle to then do that in a way that I couldn't have imagined before. And I say that that's always my purpose because of my unique circumstance. I lost my mother to cancer. Then I was adopted as an only child. I always wished I had a sister. I never felt like I fit into the girlfriend groups until I got older and found myself. And there's just so many areas where there's been this like chip on my shoulder in relation to womanhood and femininity. But also I managed to kind of alchemize all of that into creating my most flowy, beautiful, intentional feminine life. And I've always felt the desire to share how you can do that even when I didn't have it. So for me, it was like taking the aligned action. And then in the broad sense, this all makes sense, but it's only from putting myself into motion. So as I've said in many different ways now, purpose arrives backwards. I don't want multi-six-figure freelance or efficiency, productivity queen, boss babe written on my tombstone. No, I want generous, curious, loving, empathetic, right? So in that case, how do I cultivate a life that expresses those qualities? And it's not in the thing, it's about in the small aligned actions. Is this thing cultivating that? And it's daily, it's every day making the choice. Once it's framed that way and you're aligned and you practice the digital hygiene, you start to get the answers and you start to feel more sure of the next steps every single day. And then in your daily actions, you should be doing things that keep you on track, right? So if you want more depth, you should be having deeper conversations and reading. If I want to feel flow and spaciousness so I can show up more intentionally and feel less constricted, then I need to build a life that allows freedom, hence taking that action. And when something didn't align, which happened many times, whether it was clients or opportunities or things I've done, you've probably seen me on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, archive, done. I got flown out to do a speech on marketing at a journaling and diary convention in the US. At the time, it was just ego and this is like who I am now. It was an experience that I learned from, but I would say it was unaligned in the purpose, right? But that action created contrast and allowed me to know what I wanted and what I didn't want. In the moment, it felt like what I wanted, but that contrast then gives you clarity. And even now, I think I'm taking aligned action in every single thing, but there's something for sure that's going to sweep me up and make me pivot. And that's where you find your purpose. That's where everything becomes clear. Action removes the illusion because purpose isn't revealed through just successes alone. It's revealed through relating to and your resonance with the action. And on that point, I want to touch on this because this is also something that I think tripped me up a little bit. I used to try and avoid friction at all costs. So if I felt like something wasn't easy for me to achieve, then it was not for me. But there's a difference between effort and friction. Effort is normal. Good things require effort and you need to work, sweat, stress. I always throw in some Jamaican mom quotes that I grew up hearing. And one of them was, if you want good, your nose have to run. And it just means like, if you want good, your nose has to run. You have to work hard. You have to sweat. And I do believe that. I do believe there's an element of that in life. Everything meaningful requires effort. Friction, on the other hand, is when it's persistent and extreme resistance even throughout time. And learning to tell the difference is something you also have to learn through motion and through maturity. And it's a skill that you build up, but you have to learn how to build that skill as well. So at the base of everything is learning through motion. And then on that note, this wouldn't be a Danae style video if I didn't mention that your digital hygiene is important. Because everyone is so addicted to their phones, they rarely have times of silence where they can hear their subconscious thoughts, and you will receive the answers you're looking for while in motion and feel clarity and confidence confidence and get that stamp of like, yes, I should be doing this if you create time to hear. Most people say, I don't get answers. I don't hear answers. You don't, because you don't give yourself space, time, or energy to. So you need to incorporate that in your daily life. I have many videos, podcasts on this. You've likely probably watched one of those already. And lastly, if all fails, which it won't, if you really do follow everything I just shared, but regardless, service is the fastest way to get you out of your head, because that's ultimately the message I'm trying to get across today. Like, you got to get out of your head. You got to get out of the notes app and journal that you're in and get out to living and doing. You probably just think too much about yourself. Get out of your head in your bedroom. Just go be useful to someone. Literally go help someone. Literally go to the shops, go to the grocery store and help an elderly woman. Listen to someone deeply, connect with someone, go do some charity work. Service grounds you in reality and reminds you of your humanity. Purpose grows outward, not inward. So you need to get out more. It's adjacent to the whole motion thing. It's all coming together now, hopefully. You just need to surrender. At some point, you have to let go of controlling the arc of your life or feeling like you have a perceived sense of control, and believe in the uncertainty. Have faith in God and have faith in your path, in your destiny, in that you will learn whether you take an aligned action or an unaligned action. You need to just start showing up. Your life is not a thought experiment. Close the notes app, close the journal, get out of your moody bedroom and go live. The moment you go out and you go live, the moment everything will become clear to you. Bye.